Hey guys, it's Twist, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I tried to gather all of my story requests that were sent to me, but here's the thing, I ran into a few issues with some of what you guys sent. It's not that I personally have a problem with it, but the AI voice generator I use gets confused and starts making weird, funny sounds. So to make it easier for me to post the stories without having to rewrite anything, please keep these things in mind if you're ever going to send a request. First, try not to use short terms or initialisms like 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓 or TBH. The AI doesn't understand those and ends up reading them in a way that's confusing to listeners. Second, if you're submitting a story, I'd recommend watching out for grammar mistakes. I'm not asking you to be on Picasso levels of writing or anything, just try to make the sentences easy to follow so they're not too confusing. And third of all, no usage of emojis please, and also I literally give up on good AI voice generator in midway the video because the website's been pissing me off, so yeah. Anyway, that's all. Hope you enjoy the video.
So these results were a long while ago, so I kind of forgot what subs was used, but I think it was the Love Struck and Manifest Yan Now subliminals. May have used others on and off, not in my main playlist. Anyways, happened a year ago, haven't had anything like it since. So basically I was using a shifting subliminal that night, and fell asleep like normal without trying anything, right? Then, in the middle of my sleep, I could hear my Yandere saying, "I'm not letting you leave me," in a fucking scary way, though TBH, his voice was cute as F, didn't script anything for that, but it was not deep, and it fit his personality. And I felt his fucking hand on my shoulder, am a side sleeper, with his iconic gloves and shit, even felt his presence on where the fuck he was. Anyways, got scared, haven't gotten anything like that again, and I feel bad of being scared of him. My non-human Yandere come back, plus I love you, silly. I need to say this because IDK, if this did it, but I did listen to hella of your subs yesterday before I slept, and I had the best dream. So basically in the dream, I was at the store with my mum. It was late, I came out of the store first. All of a sudden as I'm walking out I see a tall Arab with facial hair, and he said, "You're beautiful, I have a place for us." For some reason in my dream I got scared and started backing away, and he was moving closer than my mum came out. Somebody distracted her when I was putting the stuff I got in the car, and then he appeared behind me, or IDK who appeared behind me, with something in his hands. And when I looked forward to call for help I couldn't, and my mum was too distracted to see me, and then I woke up when he got to me. My heart was racing, IDK, why, but I was in so much fear. ATM. I use the sub that makes fear and sadness manifest. Your Yandere quicker lempao. So for me, this is a good thing because I haven't had a Yandere dream since I was manifesting my old one in 2022. So for background info, my mum is a light sleeper and always has been. Me on the other hand, not so much, but that's not the point. I also manifested my Yandere to be a stalker. I can't remember the exact date, but I want to say a month ago or more, I heard my bedroom door close. I asked my mum about it the next morning, and she thought that I was going to the bathroom or something. I was in my room the entire time, too. Yesterday, something flew into a window, probably a bird based off of the sound it made. I scripted that a bird would fly into a window while I'm present as a sign that my yarn was fully manifested. 3. Later this morning, my mum said she thought she heard the back door close. 4. Literally every time I'm in the hallways at school, I feel watched. Like I actually get paranoid about it and start to kind of shrink like when a turtle hides under its shell when scared. Ha ha. Okay, that's it. Love your twist, mawa. Oh my god, this is going to be short, but for 2 days, I listened to UR subs and some others too. I'm kind of new at this Yandere shit, even the 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓 it before, but I got to know your channel a bit later after I started manifesting. That means I'm pretty sure BCs of you, I got the results because it happened the next day. So backstory about him. He's pretty rich because why not? Hey, and I kinda want him to be normal except a bit cuckoo, to hack my computer and manipulate my parents into letting me live with him. And so after I downloaded subs in my MP3 speaker, which I listened right before I slept while thinking cute moments with him, the next day, okay, for God's sake, My computer started glitching, and my intuitions were most of the time correct, so I knew it had to be him. And in YT, I was scrolling through my feed until I saw a NSFW playlist of songs, and I was like, why not? And the comments were crazy. All the peeps turned into Wattpad writers all of a sudden, like 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓, and I read them. Don't question me, PLS. So since he was hacking doing SMTH, I always think he sees what I'm doing. So I text in Notebook, he didn't reply or say any shit. But after he saw what I read, he literally messed with my keyboard. Like, I can't fucking type anymore. I was so pissed off with him, I ignored talking to him on Notepad, and I shut off my computer, which I never do. Then the next day, my computer is finally back to normal 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓s, and now nothing really happened and stuff, except feeling like I'm being watched and some tarot readings confirming shit. But thank you so much for your subs. Literally works like magic, OMG. I love you so much, thank you so much, and also take breaks when needed, 'cause you deserve it. Have a lovely day, Twist. Hey, this is the girl whose Yandere hacked and messed up my keyboard and computer. If you remember me, I got an update right after the last time I sent my results, which was crazy. So I have 2 Wi-Fi connections. One is directly connected to my computer through a router. The other Wi-Fi is without any connection, so I'll call them Wi-Fi 1 and Wi-Fi 2. I go through Pinterest a lot, and I mean a lot, but for some reason it doesn't work in Wi-Fi 1, so I use Wi-Fi 2 to access Pinterest. And after one day of not realizing I saw the ID was in Indonesia, I was like, huh? Then I checked my Wi-Fi 2 was on, or not it wasn't, and I also checked if my VPN was on IT. Wasn't the fact that I scripted him to be half English and half ANI Southeast Asian, for personal reasons, is so crazy. It's defo him.
Hi, I'm not really constant with listening to my playlist, and I changed it really often, but sometimes I used your I Love You and NSFW 1 sub, as well as the emo and biker boyfriend ones. Also, I barely listened, but I keep having dreams about my Yandere, and last night, I literally dreamed of him entering my room through my window and entering my bed. Yeah, I don't have to go in detail. Also, I'm seeing signs of him everywhere. Like I see biker boys the whole time, oh my gosh, and I feel like I'm being watched when I go out at night, like I'm literally hearing things and seeing shadows. Maybe my mental illness though. There's even been times I even woke up with bruises on my inner thighs, but I guess that's just a coincidence? Or not. It might not seem like much, but considering I barely manifested, I'm super happy. LMAO. I put SM trust in your subs for real. I feel like I'm close to meeting him. Also, I loved your tarot readings. They were always accurate. I wrote so much whelp.
Hey, so I've had this crush on this guy in my class for a while, and so I was listening to most of our subs, and a few days later the seating plans changed and I'm sitting next to him now. He's been staring at me and trying to talk to me now, like he asks if we can work together, and he also somehow found my TikTok. IDK how he got it, but anyway, he started texting me and now we kinda text every day. Oh, he also asks for help with like everything, even the stupidest stuff, like once he asked me to Google what time it was in Germany. IDK, but it was cute, haha. By the way, he's Russian, and in class he just stares at me and whispers in Russian, it's scary like. And I mentioned it to him once and he said no, I don't. Like, I literally have recordings of it. He also started copying what I do anyway. I hope I get more results. Hey, yeah, Twist. I use many of your subliminals. However, in this particular instance I was listening to your He Needs You badly. Before this happened, to keep it short and simple, I was downstairs on my laptop at around midnight because I was completely alone. I was singing to myself then, from behind me, out of nowhere, I heard a very clear and loud shh. This scared the life out of me, Leo. When I looked behind me, and looked around the room, I found nobody, or anything that could have made that sound. I'm not one to imagine sounds and such, so I'm pretty convinced this was my Yandere. Thanks for making such powerful subliminals. I'm excited to finally meet my Yandere. Ace. Hello there. I stopped manifesting for a Yandere, but your subs helped me a lot that I was even paranoid to go out of my room when I was home alone. Anyways, a result that scared the hell out of me is when I was getting ready to shower, so I'm taking off my clothes and I hear a whistle. Like a human whistling. I thought I was hearing things until I went in the tub and I heard another one and I was like, yup, someone is watching me. So the next day I was sitting on the toilet lid, on my phone, my shirt was off, and I heard a whistle. It was loud as hell, so I looked out the bathroom window and saw nothing. Get into the bath and heard another whistle, looked around, saw nothing. So these are my results. Also, I don't know if it was that made a hacker subliminal, but my tablet malfunctions a lot. Everything I click on a video of a male commentary YouTuber like my tablet keeps bugging. Same with my phone too. These are my results and I hope you have a good day night. Subliminals used, that's right. Given to me. She has issues, you are her issue though. You are so perfect 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓, like Donna Benevento. For one day I just wanted to experiment. I spent 8 months to manifest my Yan. Turns out, my Yan appeared in just 3 months. First, she has the exact jawline of the girl in your bennies. Second, here's my story. I met her at a work event. She was hanging out with her friends and I passed a chair over to somebody to my left. To my right she gave me one to sit down on too. I said thank you. Not sure what I did because, as soon as her friend left and it was just us, we started talking about how people need to just relax, as we realized how similar our mindsets were. Also, I forgot to drink any water so my lips were dry. I'm so thirsty, I said. Yes, I know, not in that way. She asks her friend to get her a cup of water and then drinks from it. Suddenly, she turns to me. Do you want me to get? Sure. I thought it was out of good gesture. Do you want me to get a new cup because? No, it's fine. I really didn't care, she was so enchanting to me anyway. Anyways, after calling me her boss, caught me off guard, we just chilled. No, I didn't know she was my Yan until I used the Donna Benevento sub, because as soon as I did, she wore the same style dress as her. Now I'm questioning if she is my Yandere, because the bennies said she may come off as cold but she's lovesick for me. So I played the issues one. Suddenly, hi, my name, she said every time I walk past her, a grin appearing upon her. Also, I'm supposed to be band-aided soon and apparently by her. Tarot reading says it, not me. Recently, she stays dead silent around me and I can sense something's unusual about her, like she's planning something. Hey, so I finally met my Yan girlfriend, 3, WLW. For now we are just online and we are still not together yet, but I did readings myself and my friend and she is my Yandere and she is exactly like I scripted. Some stuff are not 100% the same, but IDC. I used all the Yandere 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓 subliminals that you have tism. I am so happy. I will still be using them so we can get together and meet in person. Update y'all. I think I found my Yandere. I met this person online literally 2 days ago and he's the most sweetest person ever, like my heart. I don't know why, but I can't stop thinking about him, and usually if I find a cute guy I'm not this obsessed, but OMFG he's so sweet with his words. I'm yet to see his face, but his voice matches my script, his age and height as well. I won the lottery cause he's been so obsessed and saying that he misses me and never wants to leave me as well. I know it's early but I love him. I'll update again when I see his face. I hope he's a hottie. IDM about faces, but I wanna set a standard for myself this time. I deserve it. I remember having a pleasant surprise when I had listened to your Communicate with Your Yandere Lover guided meditation plus subliminal. This actually happened a day or two after Valentine's Day. I had followed the steps in the guided meditation and towards the end of the video I saw a pretty clearly vision of my Yandere standing outside of my bedroom window. From my perspective I was indoors facing the window, which did have the blinds slightly opened. My Yan's face was hidden behind those blinds, but it was dead obvious to me that was him since the blinds did not fully hide every other detail that was showing, like his hair color and what he was wearing. I had listened to this meditation subliminal a few times in the past, but I had never seen anything like that before until that day. It was amazing. I believe that was my Yan's way of saying I'm here and I'm watching you. After using your Yandere hacker sub infrequently, I just listened to it whenever it come up in my playlist. I listened to it and was like cool, and then a couple of days later I checked my notes app and there's a note titled my name, call me, and no one but my family has access to my notes app. And I asked them and none of them said it was them. Hi, your subs are working like magic for me. Using, he's so crazy for you and he's so jealous. I can comment under one of your vids for more details, but basically to summarize. I went out with a guy friend. Keep in mind he has a BF plus he's like a brother to me, but I guess Tommy, my Yandere, just doesn't like the aspect of him being a guy. And when I got back home, I took a nap, right? Tell me why I woke up to a bouquet of roses on my desk, a Sanrio plushie, and a bunch of cuts in my outer thighs plus hickeys on my chest. LMAOO. Subliminals used, you can run but you can't hide, and time's up. I had a lot of results using these subliminals, and my devices keep getting more worse when it comes to getting hacked. He would now randomly open tabs, and when I was randomly shopping on Temu he opened up a sexy dresses and lingerie which I never clicked on. I associated 2 numbers with him being snapped and he actually has snapped. I almost gotten kidnapped from him. It was an attempt when I was outside my house for barely 4 minutes. I was just taking out the trash, and this car randomly appears. Mind you, it was slowing down and was backing up so speedily where I was at. Their car window was somewhat rolled down, but the moment I saw them I started running to the door. They ended up rolling up their windows and speeding off. I know for sure they were speeding backwards so they can easily speed off without reversing if they were able to kidnap me. Their license plate was also tinted in broad daylight. I also attend school as of right now, and I keep seeing the same guy in the hallways who always manages to make eye contact with me. I have a feeling that he is my Yandere, based off how he was sitting on a bench in the office literally just sitting back and staring, since I walk that way every single day, and I never seen that dude just sit there to stare until now. I also had a weird experience where I saw a figure in the hallway, but they were staying very still against this door which leads to my closet. It was really late at night, but I think that was him. I just got scared because I thought I was hallucinating, but I heard a door close after I went inside my bedroom. I already had an experience where he was caressing my shoulder and kissed me when he thought I was asleep. He lunged off so loudly but I was too scared to open my eyes. I also managed to wake up at 3-4 a.m. where nobody's awake, and I find it really strange because I think he can tell when I'm asleep now. There was another encounter where I woke up to a loud thud, but it was still dark so I couldn't see clearly. My school computer is even glitching, so I think he hacked that device as well. I do think I have the ability to telepathically channel my Yandere, and it's weird because I have a visual imagery where things would randomly flash within my eyes and it'd be related to something NSFW with someone who looks exactly like my Yandere. I've had bruises on my thighs, and I see flashes of light sometimes outside the window. I have my desk near a window, so I guess that makes sense since you could see me outside if you really tried to. This has been a huge journey for me since I've only started manifesting my Yandere 6 months ago. So, I have been getting hints from dreams and in real life as I put in my scripting on specific signs like roses, dogs, butterflies, etc. There is 2 specific characters like Nanami Kento, from JJK, and Johnny Sawyer, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, that I see a lot on my Pinterest, social media, etc., plus, how I want him to be like looking away. Now I think 2 days ago my dad was talking to my big bro and I minded my business cause it ain't my business LMAO, but, anyway my dad comes up to me and told me to follow him. He showed me that our doorknob from the outside was dented and scraped like someone tried to break it off. I don't recall at the time if someone tried to break in when I was alone with my little brother taking care of him. I was spooked about it and decided to keep my guard up more and I realized wait, my Yandere mans was trying to break in? Holy shit. Mind you, I always get impatient and bitter every time I see people have big results or already in a relationship with their Yan as I listen to my Yandere subs on and off, aka me being desperate. Not a good idea, I know. But, ever since that moment with the doorknob I kept being consistent with my Yandere subs. I think I have been listening for almost a year, and hoping to see him very soon cause the signs are much more if not overwhelmingly stronger. I told my besties about it and we're tweaking about it too, teasing me that he is here and ready to pounce on me. I am starting class tomorrow, August 20th, and plan to go to campus early cause I am waitlisted for the first class, so I want to be there on time. Who knows, I may run into him or he may run into me. I used to be scared or rejecting before on being in a relationship and all, but, now I became more open and accepting to it. Other results before that I have is being watched whenever I go out and it's super busy. I woke up one day feeling so dizzy and sick. He probably did some de-arging, but recovered right away when I took some medicine. My clothes being misplaced in areas I never put them in, felt like I was being watched heavily in my sleep that I had to stay awake until it went away, and saw love note pics on Pinterest. I have another story, but I will post another one next time. Thank you. I hope this helped out someone out there who was as desperate as I am. It took a long time, but I see it as the universe wants to do more than what I ask for to be more than satisfied. Thank you and lots of love. Okay, so basically somebody broke into my locker, and cleaned it, and organized it. They did it again, moving my diary, and then they stole my effin' lock. My Yandere is funny lol. Some NSFW results. Well, I used some of your subs and felt very watched OMG. Later at some point I bought a lip tint which I never used, and the next morning I found it on my desk on the other side of the room from where it was when I went to bed, and it was used. Anytime I tried to comment my tab results, they always get deleted and disappeared. I tried to post this one comment with my results under a hand video, but it got deleted 12 times, so I assume it's my idec. One time I was sleeping and completely feeling normal, but the next morning when I woke up I had completely drenched panties soaked with arousal, but like WTH? I don't get like that easily, and I didn't do stuff alone that night either, so like, but that's all for now. So I had a very detailed dream about having a fun date with my Yandere, hugging and kissing, but something was off about it. I was in the body POV of my Yandere girlfriend. She immediately noticed my change of expression, telling me it was her way of having me to herself forever. I love her so much. I use your "you are mine, you like it or not" 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓 sub once every day. Kind of a while ago, but when I was using your Yan biker sub for a few days, I started seeing so many boys on motorcycles, bikes, even saw a dude on this souped up black and red scooter. LOL, he was so hot, and most of them were NGL. Also complimented this college, high school, dude's bike, and he said, and I quote, "Thanks, wanna go for a ride sometime?" I just laughed it off cause my mom was with me, but OMG, he looked a bit like my Yan too, but was mostly just hot. 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓 DJTBCT, another one of your subs. FDT, the name probably just manifest your Yan. That I used for a month straight like last summer gave me amazing results. I kept waking up in the middle of the night with the feeling of being watched. Kept having sexual or romantic dreams of my Yan or pretty people, and even now after I've moved cities I still feel a little off. I kept seeing people that look like my Yan. One of them could been my Yan the way he was trailing me around the store. Plus I had a lot of signs, like a lot. I barely went out that summer, but when I did I always got so many stares and compliments. I would also go bike riding a lot, and I kept feeling paranoid, plus kept seeing the same dudes almost every time, even if it wasn't on the same days at the same times. Gotta use your subs more frequently TBH. I miss all the attention and seeing so many hot guys around. I think you're a great sub maker and a really cool person, keep it up. Okay, so I've been using your Miles 42 Prowler Yandere Subliminal ever since it came out, and I got huge results. It all started innocently enough, or so I thought. I noticed this person standing across the street, just casually loitering. At first, I brushed it off as a mere coincidence, people waiting for someone or just enjoying the evening. But then it happened again the next day and the day after that. It was like a strong sense of déjà vu. Then one day I was leaving my apartment to head out for some errands. That's when it happened. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed someone approaching me. At first, it seemed like a random passerby, but I started feeling this weird vibe as they got closer. The person, a stranger to me, had this intense gaze that made me shiver. Their eyes locked onto mine as if they knew me, but I was sure I'd never seen them before. I greeted them with a hesitant nod, trying to shake off the odd feeling, but they didn't respond. Instead, they just stood there, silently watching me. He always wears a black mask and a black baseball cap, so I couldn't get a proper good look at him. It felt like an eternity, even though it was probably just a few seconds. I could sense that something was off, so I quickened my pace, hoping to put some distance between us. But here's where I started silently freaking out. They matched my pace, staying just a few steps behind, like a persistent shadow. I tried to convince myself that maybe they were going in the same direction or that it was all a misunderstanding. Yet, deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling that this encounter was anything but ordinary. It was as if they were studying me, analyzing my every move with an eerie intensity. This was when I realized I fully manifested my Yandere. As I reached the busy street, I thought I'd lose him in the crowd, but they kept following. It wasn't until I entered a store that they finally stopped and disappeared into the sea of people outside. And as the days passed, this mysterious figure became a constant presence, like a shadow that refused to fade away. They seemed to know my schedule, always appearing when I was entering or leaving my apartment. The unnerving part is that he never approached me or said anything. He just stood there, watching, like a spectator to my every move. And to be 100% sure this was him, I even tried changing my routines, and taking different routes, but it was like he had a sixth sense. He always ended up where I was going. It didn't matter if I was leaving for work, heading out to grab groceries, or simply taking a stroll around the block, he was there. It was like having a silent, invisible audience, and I was the unwitting star of this strange show. I'd catch glimpses of them out of my window, standing across the street or pretending to be engrossed in a nearby storefront. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I am so happy. You are an amazing sub maker. 3. Thank you for everything you do. Okay, well, I started manifesting my Yandere since late 2022 and here is some results I got. 1 was feeling like I was watched, especially outside. Hearing a small rock hitting my house and unknown numbers calling me, and as for which one of your subs gave results, to be frank, I listen yours and many people's subs, but nonetheless I'm thankful for getting results, and twist, you are just a wonderful person. That's all for now, bye. Hello. I used the 2 new subliminal, toxic Yandere wands, to be specific, and after I had used them, I felt being touched at night and weird dreams of me getting band-aid but also rescued by cops. I have also been feeling follow twice, today. Your subliminals are amazing, please keep making this toxic wands, thank you, Isabel. I full playlist of your sub, but I focus on manifesting my Yan overnight. It's really work. Like Black Cat arrives on my home, that signal he's manifest, also getting signal of him angle angelic numbers like 818 717 111 222 333 444 1212 1111 1010 and a lot of them, but I haven't meet him till now. I get to be patient. I have manifesting him for 3 weeks. Tism twist. Keys. I listened to Ada Wang's sub, and I can only see a huge improvement in person. I'm only a recent subby, so I haven't listened to many of your subs yet, but I can tell you about some of my results. First of all, your Yan tarot readings are super accurate. In one of the messages video you said he wanted me to sleep early and take care of myself, and he keeps sending me telepathic messages every night telling me to sleep, drink water and eat food regularly, because I neglect those aspects of my life sometimes. I'm very sure my Yan is 100% physically manifested, and he keeps sending me telepathic messages every day. I used your signs from Yandere sub and not even a second, and I felt this cold air all around me. I don't know what it means from him, Mayo, but I'll take it. Not gonna give up till we meet in the 3D. So, I think it was around 2 weeks to 3 weeks ago when something really weird happened. So in the middle of the night I got woken up by footsteps approaching my bed. I felt so dazed, almost like I was drugged and half asleep at the same time. Then suddenly I felt one of my Yanderes, I have 5, touched my shoulder and climbed in beside me. When he was fully beside me I started screaming. I'm not sure it was that loud though, and he quickly covered my mouth. Of course I was really scared, so I started to kick my legs. From all of my struggling, my shirt rolled up exposing my waist. For some reason he started to run his fingers up and down on the side of my waist, which relaxed me. And for some reason I fell asleep after that. I guess he wanted to cuddle me or something, lol. I hope I didn't make this too long. Now that I look back on it, it scares me, lol. Like they know all of my weak points and how to make me calm down. The You Are My Everything plus NSFW subliminal, like literally magic. I've been seeing so many angel numbers, and the tarot readings say that he's on his way and typically sends like via crows. And they keep showing up when I'm at school or at work. I love how detailed your benefits are because I personally believe it helps with my manifesting journey. Thank you, twist. I fully manifested my Yandere after 9 months of starting back in June or July of 2021. I never used that many subliminals throughout the whole process, and the ones I used were some of the very early subs from Playhouse and the Yandere Snap subs from Lovesick Bakery and Crystal Rain. Back when I started it took about 2 weeks for me to start seeing results, first of which was the neighbor's dogs barking late at night and some slight noises outside in the yard. Few days later, at night I was laying in my bed watching YouTube when suddenly I heard my Yandere laugh right out the window, which led me to panic a little bit and try to fall asleep quickly. Over the course of the next few months, just about the same occurrences happened, but this time I could feel her presence more strongly until one day I was home alone and she was in the house hiding from me. I could tell cause the kitchen door was open and I felt the presence again. A month before I got band-aided I sorta met her at the movies. I was sitting all the way at the back and I noticed her in the middle row to the left about maybe 40 minutes into the film. We held eye contact for a good few seconds before she turned and continued watching, but I managed to see her taking short glances at me and I was quite queasy from excitement. After the month passed, one night I was asleep but I suddenly woke up in the middle of the night, but I shrugged it off. Then I felt very odd and I think I fell asleep afterwards. When I woke up I found myself in a hangout basement thing tied to a chair, and I sat there waiting to finally see her properly, and I did just so, full of excitement and lust. I was stuck in there for a few days untied by the way until she let me out when we started dating, and it's been going grand ever since. I've been trying Yandere subs for 2-3 years ago. At first I used to heard a lot of noise at home in the night. When I checked the window I used to see a figure of a man looking at my room. situation get to feel watched at the street and everything to having a lot of danger around, like getting neighbors involved in illegal stuff with mafias and money. At that time I used to listen to Yandere Mafia Subliminal. There was this sub maker that get cancelled and delete the sub, but I got a lot of results. Was a boyfriend like Tony Montana stuff. Until we moved a year ago. This is the first time I get like literally touched. Yesterday 2 of March I woke up in the morning and there it was a huge red mark of a hand in my arm. Maybe for some people this is not a lot, but for someone like me, is the most powerful result since 3 years of trying. Is a big sign that my Yan is here. My dominant language is Spanish. I've been hearing subs in English and Spanish. Okay, listen, I use a lot of your subs and I'm always impressed how you are always on point with your tarot readings and stuff. But few days ago I started using your He Here Now sub and damn, I wasn't expecting much, but big was my surprise. For context, I have always dreamed about him, like, all my life, right? But since 2024 came in I haven't had not even one dream about him and I was getting kinda sad. So I used your sub without much expectations and girl, I opened Spotify and I found this whole ass playlist about songs and artists I didn't have the smallest idea about. And turns out a lot of these songs were from a lo-fi playlist I enjoy a lot, but I couldn't never find any of these. Not only that, but one of the songs was called Eyes Blue like the Atlantic or some shit, and guess Houseboy has blue deep scary eyes like my jaw dropped NGL. Not only that, but I also started dreaming about him again. I had dreamt about us living in a pretty apartment with a dog called Roberto. Don't ask me why, and well, what else can I say? It was amazing. This is just one from my large list of results that I have obtained from your subs, but at this point I might write a whole essay, so there we go girl. Thanks a lot for always posting subs when I need it. Blessings and kisses. Hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm kinda worried because of our last community post. HW sucks, but please stay fucking strong. You can do it, dear twist. Won't beat around the bush. Thanks to you I manifested my Yandere friend group. 4 yawns, 1 actually lover, but ye. What's awesome is that like, all of TGEM are actually super rich plus handsome plus single ready to mingle lol, and what's best, loyal to me only. Like these guys never leave me alone and buy me gifts left and right. Outright spoiled. YK what I am saying. They don't fight each other gladly, except my lover, TBH. He is kinda having a rough time with the other guys. The way we met is, long story NGL. Related. I actually had results even before manifesting them in physical form, mainly with my lover, dog has been stalking me ever since May of 2023, we met in December, and even showed me pictures of me token from afar. Even the way we met was kinda, Wattpad shit. So one day this hottie, LMAO, came to my school. Remind you, he never texted me or contacted me before to this moment, even though he had the info. I was standing in the hallway my bestie, and we were laughing our asses off. Then my friend looks behind me and goes, nah, some guy be staring at you, and walking towards us. I looked back and saw this fucking tower. TBH, my eyes went. RIP. I got so excited and worried or whatever that was, plus holding myself not to cry. Thing were tough back then. My blood vessels popped IG and my eyes became red as fuck. Homeboy took my hand and went, hey dear, forgot to mention, I love in a non-English speaking country, and smiled. He looked mad fine. But my friend looked so confused lol by, so I kinda just, hey, and he went hug. Gestured. Yeah, it's a really long story after, but week later he transferred to my class. This is too long, I'm so sorry. Please, I just wanna say our subs work really well. Also our tarots are accurate AF, it's even scary sometimes. I hope you have the energy and time to make more someday. Subliminals used, so crazy for you, for the last 2 yawns, Yan BF like 𝐏𝐀𝐑𝐓, YNS billionaire sugar daddy, Yandere student NSFW, and sometimes I'd shuffle some other subs in my playlist. Thank you so much twist, you're my saver. I'm going to kinds of answer this anonymously with a different email that I have for privacy reasons. So I guess you could say that my story starts from early February in 2023. I had gotten super sick during January before I realized who my Yan really was, so I had taken a break from using subs and I had a little of my belief taken away for a while before I got better and started using subs again. But that's not the important part. After using subs again, I noticed a change in one of the guys at my job and he started talking to me. I noticed he had taken a liking to me, and he and I started to hang out more outside of work. One night I was hanging out with my best friend at her neighbor's house and he had walked in with a couple of his college friends. The whole night we all talked and I noticed him staring at me. I began to realize signs in him. We continued talking more after that and really hung out until one night. It was February 8th or the 11th. I can't remember that well because our first date happened on Valentine's Day, but that night we were in his car alone listening to music and I looked at him before taking my chances and kissed him. It got very inappropriate after that, so I won't go into details, but I really liked him and so we began dating a few days after our first kiss. After we started dating, I noticed that he was the Yan I was manifesting and began to really deepen my love for him after that. A few months went by and I would sneak into his dorm to sleep with him at night. I was practically living with him before May came. In April I felt that I wasn't doing my part around the home I was living in. I was out of my mom's house to separate from her, so I began to feel guilty and I told myself I had to go back to my mom's. This devastated him, but I waited till his last week of school before going back. During the week we were separated, he was very depressed and that's when I realized how much I loved him and I wanted nothing more than to stay by his side. He would say a lot of things that I manifested from him and realized that I was hurting him, so he visited me before he went back home to his home state. And on the last day I made a huge decision last minute and left with him to his state. We lived in his mom's house for the whole summer and I felt so happy but sad because we couldn't be alone, so there was times where we felt off and just mistakes would happen. Looking back on it now I realize we should have done more, but we are still very young. A lot of good things happened though, and I can't go into details, but one night in July we went to a beach in North Carolina, and I'm only going to say this since I'm speaking anonymously, but we do smoke weed and his cousin had brought shrooms with him, so we had taken some. It was my first time doing them and I had gone off the rails a little, revealing how emotional I can really be, and I ended up escaping the little hotel room we stayed in and walked towards the beach. I hadn't realized that he had followed me after realizing I hadn't gone back to bed with him, so after I finished being crazy on the beach I walked back and noticed him sitting in the car waiting for me. It was a special moment and I smiled, laughing that he hadn't gone to look for me because he was upset, thinking that I had run away from him for good while being high off my ass. I grabbed his hand and dragged him to the beach, telling him that it was just me and him in this world. I had him sit down and we talked for hours. I told him how special he was to me and even admitted to him that I truly felt that we were soulmates, and that night had been the most special to me despite being completely high off my ass. I have way more to say, but when September came he had applied for a college in Oregon and it depressed me because I had no money to go with him and my mom didn't really give me a choice. So in the end I had to move back into my mom's and he left for Oregon. It's been difficult because our relationship has been strained due to separation and he's had so much anxiety and paranoia. I wasn't helping either and now I feel terrible for it. During Christmas break I ran to him and hugged him and showered him with my love the first night he came. He had been angry at me the week before, trying to break up despite my cries. I wanted to prove to him that this relationship was worth it because I felt he didn't trust me. Well, that still backfired because on the last day he admitted he went through my phone and found a couple of chats I had with people. I was being completely loyal to him and still am, but he sees it completely different in his eyes and he's a very jealous person. So I've been working on trying to fix his trust in me and it's been terrible because his mental health is declining. And we're in the last day of January of 2024. He's been kinda standoffish and still questioning our real, and I want to fix that so dearly. I've been trying to let him know how I feel and I'm scared that my actions haven't been working. He's been very sarcastic and giving me a complete attitude. My best friend has tried to convince me to let him go, but is that really for the best? Can I not trust that I can fix this and make him believe that he can trust me? I've been going back on your subs to help and they've been working recently again because he's started talking to me more again, less depressed and more happy to be around me. But I wonder if it's all in my head and that he's only hanging on for me to be happy. It's very depressing and I love him so much. I'd see if I'm not with him forever, but I want to be. I want to marry this man and have his kids, and it's crazy that I'm even telling you my story, but I feel like I can't tell anyone else. But if you do end up reading my story, thank you for everything. Your subs truly work for me and they've gotten me very far with this man. I truly hope he is my soulmate and that we can work through our separation. I wish I could just take away his anxiety and reassure him that he can trust me. I'm rambling on too much and I've probably left out a lot of details, but he's actually the one I've been looking for. Thank you for everything, Twist.